Hello friends, I'm Dr. Ashok Asthana. I'm assistant professor in Sarala Birla University, Ranchi in the Department of Business Management. And in today's video, we'll be talking about international business. International business is one of the important subject in case of any management organization, in case of any management domain, and we'll be discussing the same. We'll be discussing the concept of international business. We'll be discussing its importance. We'll be discussing different kind of in scope. We'll be studying we'll be talking about different kind of agencies that are involved in international business. So today we should start with the concept of international business. If we are talking about international business, then international business refers to the trade of goods, services, technology, capital, knowledge across international borders. So international business altogether is an important aspect where two or more than two countries are involved directly in case of international trade. Say for example, India is one of the largest producer of milk and milk-allied product. India is one of the largest producer of forestry. India is one of the largest producer of coal. India is one of the largest producer of iron ore in the world. And if India is exporting all these items to another country, and in exchange India is getting some certain foreign exchange, that means India as well as the trading country which we are talking about, they both are indulged into international business. Say for example, India is importing rock salt from Pakistan. This is true. That mean, and in exchange, India is paying something to Pakistan. That means India and Pakistan both are related to international business. India is importing. India is importing nuclear parts. India is importing defense equipments from France, Israel, United States of America, and in exchange India is paying something to them. That means these countries are related to international business. Now we'll be talking about some of the important characteristics of international business. If we are talking about international business involves two or more than two countries. International business, whenever we are talking about international business, it always is conducted in large voluminous way. If we are talking about international business, it deals with environment of the trading countries. Say for example, if India and United States they are trading, then we need to take care of environment of India as well as we need to take care of environment of United States. The fourth important characteristics is, if we are talking about international business, it involves foreign currency. International business always involves foreign currency. Say for example, India is trading with United States. India is sending some certain goods to United States, then obviously United States will pay in form of United States dollar or in form of Indian rupee. And if we are talking about international business consists of an intense competition. So these are some of the important characteristics of international business. Let us revise once again. Point number one, it involves two or more than two countries. Point number two, it involves large volume of business. Point number three, it involves multiple currency. Point number four, it involves environment of different countries. Point number five, it involves intense competition. Point number six, in case of international business, the risk is very, very high. So these are six important characteristics of international business. Now we'll be talking about scope of international business. If you are talking about scope always define the content or coverage of any subject area. So we'll be discussing what international business covers. Scope means coverage or boundary of a specific subject. So if you are talking about scope of international business, it covers import, export, re-export. First, second point, it always consists of currency exchange. Third point, it involves international relations. Fourth point, it involves international business environment. Fifth point, it involves growth opportunity. Sixth point, it involves international HRM. Seventh point, it involves multiple entry and multiple exit system. So these are some certain topics which are very much discussed in our scope of international business. Now we'll be talking about importance of international business, why international business is important, and why you as a country cannot live without international business. See, whenever you are talking about international business, then international business is a thing which is very very important nowadays. See, a country is never self-sufficient. Say for example, if India is rich in iron ore, it is deficient in crude oil. So India imports crude oil from Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iran, etc. अब say for example, if Japan is rich in technology, but Japan is weak in agriculture and agriculture allied product. Saudi Arabia is rich in oil, but Saudi Arabia is deficient in agricultural product. So Saudi Arabia used to import agricultural product from all other countries. So you as a country need to depend upon international business to sustain and to survive. Now we'll be talking about importance of international business. The first importance, if you want to expand your market, you need to talk about international business. See, let us talk about Tatas, let us talk about Birlas, or let us talk about any other MNCs. They have their headquarters in, for example, Tata is having its headquarters in India, Birlas are having their headquarters in India, but however, they are spread in more than 32 countries, more than 30 countries of the world. If, second important point, if you are talking about international business used to generate employment for core as well as allied sector. Third importance, if you are talking about international business used to generate funds, international business used to bring funds from outside. Fourth, if you are talking about international business used to talk about improvement in standard of living. You are sitting in India and you are using mobile phone, you are using Apple mobile phone, which is being manufactured in United States. You are using some of the important technology. You are using semiconductor, which is being developed by Taiwan. You are using some of the important technology which are being developed by some certain other advanced countries of the world. If you are talking about another important point, if you are talking about international business used to share or diversify your risk. If you are operating in more than one country, then automatically your risk will be diversified. So these are some of the important points, or these are some of the points that highlights the importance of international business. Let us revise once again. Market expansion is the first point. Second point, it brings foreign exchange. Third point, it generates employment. Fourth point, it improves standard of living. Fifth point, with the help of international business, your risks are being shared. So you as a student need to understand that why international business is required. What is the importance of international business? Say for example, let us talk about India. India is one of the important country of the world, and India is importing its defense needs from Israel, from America, from USSR. So India want to secure its border, and also ultimately foreign exchange, generation of employment, market expansion. These are some of the, and improved international relations also. These are some of the points that are very important from international business point of view. Now we need to understand, or we need to talk about what drives international business. What are the causes behind international business, why international businesses they are into the system. So because your home market is limited, that is why in search of market a company used to proliferate, or a company used to vibrate from home country to another country. Second, excessive production. Say for example, if you are into excessive production, and if you are able to sell 50% of your product in your own country, then what about rest 50% of the product? So you need to search a market abroad to sell all those products. So if you want to expand your market, you need to talk about international business. Third, global marketplace. Global marketplace and emerging market. Most of the countries that are located in African countries, or some of the Asian countries, they are emerging countries. They are unexplored or less explored markets. So in order to explore those markets, in order to exploit those market profitability, you need to have international business. You need to depend upon international business. Third, if you want to grow your market share, if you want to grow your market size, if you want to grow these two things, you need to talk about international business. Without these things, if you want to enjoy higher profit, so if you are operating in India, and if your country, if your organization opens a branch in United States, and if you start operating in United States, then the quantum of profit which you are enjoying may increase. And if you want to have political stability, if you want to improve international relations, then also you need to talk about international business. So basically, limited home market, excessive production, stability, global marketplace, emerging market, higher rate of profit, political stability. These are some of the drivers of international business. These are some of the points that fuels international business. Now we'll be talking about some of the points that restrain international business, जो international trade को रोकते हैं, जो international trade को oppose करते हैं. First is the culture. If you are talking about international trade, you need to interact to the culture of another country. A problem of mismatch of culture may arise. So mismatch of culture could be a problem that acts as restraining force of international business. Another important point could be treated as competition in home and host country. So if you are having intense competition in home country as well as if you are having intense competition in host country, both points are equally dangerous for international business. Another important restraining force is the risk involved in international business. Fourth point that acts as restraining force is the currency exchange problem, or the problem of liquidity. Sometimes due to currency exchange problem or due to the problem of liquidity, the international business may get hampered. Another important point is the rules and regulation as well as the environment which you are dealing at the time of international business. Say for example, if Indian rules are favorable, but if the rules of Japan or if the rules of say for example Germany are not favorable, then ultimately international business can be restrained or opposed. So you need to take care of business environment, you need to take care of international rules. Let us revise once again. So restraining force, the first restraining force in case of international business is cultural mismatch, then it comes to currency exchange, then it comes to international rules and laws, then it comes the fourth point could be risk, fifth point could be political instability, sixth point could be the history of organization can also act as a restraining force. Seventh point could be high rate of competition in home and host country. So these are some of the points that acts as restraining force that oppose international business. Now one of the important topic is internationalization, and we'll be discussing about the internationalization. Internationalization is an act of designing product and services according to the need of international market. If you want to go international, you need to study the pulse of international market, you need to study the demand of international market, and you need to produce product accordingly. So if you are designing your product and services to suit the requirement of international market, then you are talking about internationalization. There are some certain stages of internationalization. First is domestic. We are talking about stages of internationalization. So the first stage of internationalization is establishment of domestic market. In first stage, you need to establish your domestic market, because if you are establishing your domestic market, you will be getting funds for expansion, you will be getting funds from investment, funds for investment. Second stage is export research and planning. In case of export research and planning, you are doing your homework, that where to export, how to export, what are the kind of documents that are required. Prior to investing money or prior to go international, you need to talk about a concrete planning, how you will proceed, what will be your steps and all. The third step will be initiation of export. Once you have planned properly, once you have understood the concept of internationalization, how you are going to proceed to international market, then initiate export in pieces. That means you should not be a full-fledged exporter, but try to start in small, try to export some certain quantity, or try to initiate export with a small quantity. So to to get the feedback. And once it is accepted, once your export is accepted by international market, then try to increase sales, try to use strategies, try to use offers, try to showcase your product, try to use try to use different kind of expansion strategy to expand the international market. And once you are able to build trust, once you are able to build your niche, once you are able to build your market, then instead of manufacturing and exporting from home country, try to invest abroad, try to invest in that particular country. And if you are investing in that particular country, that means you are saving your cost, you are saving your transportation cost. That means your overall cost will decrease and your product and services will become more attractive in international market. So what is internationalization? Let us revise. Internationalization is the act of producing product and services according to the need and demand of international market. What are the stages of internationalization? The first stage of internationalization is establishment of domestic market. The second stage of internationalization is export planning. The third stage of internationalization is initiation of export. The fourth stage of internationalization is initiation of international sales. And the fifth stage of internationalization is investment abroad. Now we'll be talking about modes of entry to international market, how you can enter to international market. There are some certain simple steps, there are some certain simple modes of entry to international market. The first and foremost, with the help of export, you can enter to international market. With the help of import, you can enter to international market. With the help of re-export, you can enter to international market. With the help of licensing and franchisee, you can enter to international market. With the help of turnkey projects and contracts, you can enter international market. With the help of re-export, you can enter international market. International market में जाने के तरीके, what are the ways? Let us again revise. Via exporting, via importing, via re-export, via licensing, via franchisee, via contract, via turnkey project, via sourcing, you can enter to international market. Via joint venture, you can also enter to international market. Via purchase of another firm, via acquisition or merger, you can also enter to international market. Now we'll be talking about globalization. What is globalization and what are the characteristics of globalization? It is one of the important part of the syllabus that we are teaching in Sarala Birla University. You know, whenever you are talking about globalization, in one line, globalization is about integration of economies of the world. You know, globalization is an act that allows free integration of different economies of the world. Globalization is an act that brings different kind of economy on the same platform, and after coming on the same platform, obviously free trade as well as trade increases, the quantum of trade increases. So we'll be talking about characteristics of globalization. The first characteristics of globalization is free trade. The second characteristics of globalization is liberalization. You know, without liberalization, you cannot experience the concept of globalization. The third stage of the third characteristics of globalization is increase in employment. The fourth important characteristics of globalization is increased connectivity between nations. The fifth important characteristics of globalization is cultural exchange. Sixth important characteristics of globalization is interdependence. Seventh important characteristics, urbanization. Eighth important characteristic is improvement in standard of living. Ninth important characteristics is an increment, a decrease in cost of production. 10th could be outsourcing. So these are some of the important characteristics of globalization. Now we need to understand that why we are experiencing globalization. Let us talk about factors driving globalization. So the first factor that is driving globalization is technology. Technology is improving, and in technology is continuously upgrading. You know, let us talk about transport technology, let us talk about production technology, let us talk about innovation, let us talk about communication. All these technology are continuously upgrading. Due to an upgraded technology, the cost is continuously decreasing, and therefore it acts as an important driver of globalization. Political driver, yes, political will is another important factor that lead to globalization. Third is market driver. You know, in order to gain more and more profit, people or companies are proliferating from one nation to another. Say for example, Bajaj has opened its branch in Africa to gain market access. Fourth important characteristics is cost driver. The cost of production vary from one country to another. Why people are going to China? Because the cost of manufacturing in China is very less. Now the trend is reversing, and from China people are coming to India. Competitive driver. You as a company will prefer to go to that particular nation where competition is less. So technology could be treated as driver, cost could be treated as driver, resources could be treated as driver, open market, unexplored market could be treated as an important driver of globalization. Less competition could be treated as an important driver of globalization. Now in another part we'll be talking about advantages and disadvantages of globalization. If you are talking about advantages of globalization, then there are some certain stated advantages, including access to new market, including spread of technology, including technical collaboration, including generation of employment, including global tolerance, including promotion of economic growth. Along with advantages, you are experiencing some certain disadvantages of globalization. Increased competition is one of the important disadvantage. Exploitation of resources, is the another disadvantage. Third is more interdependence on foreign capital. Fourth is domestic law, and fifth is the companies who are coming to your country will give more priority to profit, not to your national interest. So these are some of the important disadvantages of globalization. Let us revise once again. Increased competition, exploitation of labor resources, exploitation of natural resources, increasing interdependence. Sometime you may experience domestic job loss. These are some of the important disadvantages of globalization. Now, if you are a company and if you want to globalize, then first of all, from domestic company to international company, from international company to multinational company, from multinational to global, and from global to transnational. These are stages of globalization. From domestic, straight away you cannot become global. This is a very risky process. Say for example, I'm having a company in India and tomorrow I want to open a branch in United States, and if I initiated the process, it could be risky. So what is the standard process? From domestic to international to multinational to global and finally to transnational company. You need to understand the difference between transnational. You need to understand what is transnational company, because as I have discussed, the last stage of globalization is to become a transnational company. If you are a transnational company, then you are producing product and services according to the need and demand of the consumer of the country where you are operating. Say for example, I'm having a company in India, Ashok's Enterprises, and if I have opened a branch in, say for example, Iran, hottest topic of today, then I need to, if I'm operating in Iran, then I need to study the characteristics of Iranian market. I need to study the demand and supply that prevails in Iran, and then I need to produce according to there. I need to take decision according to the need and demand of Iranian market. This is the concept of transnational company. So ultimately the basic goal is to become transnational. The basic aim is to become transnational. Now very briefly we'll be talking about international business environment. If we are talking about international business environment, then international business environment are the conditions under which a business operates. International business environment are the conditions under which a business operates, and it consists of four important layers. First, the domestic environment. After domestic environment, you are first the internal environment of the organization. After internal environment, you are going to face domestic environment. After domestic environment, you are going to face foreign environment, and after foreign environment you are going to face global environment. So these are four layers of international business environment. First, the internal environment. Second, internal environment of business or of organization I'm talking about. Second, the domestic environment, that means environment of the home country. Third, the foreign environment, that means environment of the host country. And fourth, global environment, that is being dominated by some certain international agencies like regional economic cooperation, like World Trade Organization, etc. Now we'll be moving toward module number 2. In module number 2, we'll be talking about international trade theory. We'll be touching some certain basic theory. So first, the theory of mercantilism. According to the theory of mercantilism was given in 16th century, and it prevails up to 17th or 18th century. According to the theory of mercantilism, the strength of a nation is measured in terms of gold and silver. The strength of a nation I'm talking about is measured in terms of gold and silver. Therefore, in order to earn gold and silver, a country should engage in international trade. A country should be engaging in international trade in order to accumulate the gold and silver. And with the help of gold and silver, the strength of a nation could be decided. After that, the theory of absolute cost advantage. According to the theory of absolute cost advantage, which was developed by Adam Smith, the theory actually came after the theory of mercantilism. Adam Smith was a person who has always supported the concept of free trade. He explained that a country should only produce those products in which they have absolute cost advantage. If you are enjoying absolute cost advantage in production of an item, then that particular item should only be produced by your country, and that country should produce and export that item. After that, another theory came, the theory of comparative cost advantage. According to the theory of comparative cost advantage, which was proposed by David Ricardo, J.S. Mills, Marson and all, they proposed that the country will try to produce and export those products. Try to understand what I'm saying. A country will try to produce and export those products where the country enjoy comparative positive cost advantage. A country will try to produce and export those products where that country enjoy positive cost advantage, and the country will import those products where the country enjoy comparative less cost disadvantage. After that, Heckscher-Ohlin theory came, and according to Heckscher-Ohlin theory, the distribution of natural wealth is not common throughout the globe, throughout the countries. Therefore, if a country is having some certain natural resources, then the country should try to exploit those natural resources, and the country should try to use those natural resources in production of items. If the country uses those natural resources, then ultimately the cost of production will go down, and the cost of production will go down, and the quantum of international trade will increase. After that, national competitive theory, or Porter's diamond theory came. This was given by Michael E. Porter. And according to this theory, a nation competitiveness always depends upon the capacity of industry to innovate and upgrade. If a country is very much competitive, then only if a country is very much innovative, then only the country will produce those goods and services which are upgraded in terms of quality and quantity, as well as they will be produced at a comparative lower cost. So if technological upgradation is there, then as a result of that innovation, as a result of that technical upgradation, the cost of goods will decrease, the quality of goods will increase, and such kind of goods are demanded more in international market. After that, PLC theory came. The PLC theory was being given by Raymond Vernon, a Harvard professor. And according to Raymond Vernon, international business, and those products and services which are related to international business, they are into 3 stages. First, new product; second, mature product; and third, standardized product. In case of new product, the stage begins with production of a new product in the market. Corporation will begin from development of a new good, the market for which will be small and sales will be comparative low. Vernon assumed that the innovation or invention of product will be mostly done by developed nation. So if a country is developing new product, then at that particular stage the cost involved will be high, the technological involvement will be high, less awareness will be there. So the focus of that particular company or that particular country will be on production, will be on cost decrement. The second stage is mature stage. Second stage is known as mature stage. In this stage, the demand is established. The demand is established. And in third stage, which is known as standardized stage, and the standardized stage, the competition will be at peak, and due to which the product start losing market. The competition will be at peak, due to which the product will start losing market, and finally the product will be diminished. So unlikely the new product development theory, this theory consists of only three stages: new product stage, mature product stage, and standardized product stage. After that, theory of international investment, as well as a lot of market imperfection theory, theory of internationalization, labor specific advantage theory. These are important theory which was given later. Another important concept in in module number 2 is trade protectionism. Trade protectionism. If you are talking about trade protectionism is an economic policy which is being adopted by government to restrict import from another country. Why import is restricted? Because you want to support your domestic market. So what is trade protectionism? Trade protectionism is a economic policy which is being adopted by government to boost internal trade, to boost domestic trade via restricting the trade from other countries. There are some certain important tools of trade protectionism, like with the help of subsidy, with the help of tariff, with the help of import quota, with the help of anti-dumping policy, with the help of administrative policy. You are going to restrict trade. If you are talking about some certain developing nation, then the domestic industry of those particular developing nation needs to be supported. Now, who will support? Government will support. Government will protect that particular industry from external and unfair competition. So what are the tools with the help of which government is protecting domestic industries? First, with the help of subsidy, with the help of quota, with the help of tariff, with the help of standardization, with the help of administrative policy, with the help of anti-dumping policy, as well as with the help of embargoes. Government is protecting domestic trade. Another important topic is free trade. Free trade is also known as laissez-faire. That means their government does not discriminate between domestic product and foreign product. That means nil tariff, nil quota. If government remove tariff and non-tariff barrier from international trade, then that particular international trade will be converted into free trade. Free trade is very much important, and free trade is mostly seen either between two favorable nation, or between two favorable nation, as well as between two underdeveloping as well as developed nation. What are the advantages of free trade area or free trade? There are some certain advantages of free trade. If you are talking about free trade may result into increased market. Free trade may result into lowering the prices. Free trade may result into increased variety. Free trade may result into increased efficiency. Free trade may result into access to quality goods and services. Free trade also may result into technology transfer. But along with these advantages, there are some certain disadvantages. If you are talking about free trade area, sometimes free trade area or free trade may result into overutilization of resources. Free trade may result into duplicacy. Free trade may result into development of unhealthy working condition. Free trade may result into threat to intellectual property. Free trade may result into increased competition. Free trade may result into over dependence upon foreign capital. Therefore, while deciding the quantum of free trade, or while going into free trade agreement, you need to be very much cautious. You need to see your domestic conditions, you need to see your foreign policy, you need to see the quantum of foreign funds, and then only you need to talk about whether you are going to sign a free trade agreement with another country or not. Now let us come to module number 3. Module number 3 talks about international marketing. Very important and interesting topic. If you are talking about international marketing, then international marketing is totally different from totally different from domestic marketing. It is concerned with integrating and standardization of market as well as marketing activity throughout globe. Standardization of marketing activity I'm talking about. If you are promoting a product in domestic market, things will be different. But if you are promoting the same product into foreign market, things will be different. There in foreign market, you need to adopt standard policy, you need to work according to international rules and regulation, you need to talk about culture of foreign market, you need to talk about international trade agreements and all. So if you are talking about international marketing talks about standardization of proper impact. What is the importance of international marketing? If you are talking about international marketing, in case of international marketing, you can enjoy some certain advantages, like your market will be expanded, you can increase your brand reputation, you can connect business with other world, you can open door for foreign policy. These are some of the important characteristics of international market. After that, you need to talk about characteristics of international marketing. In case of international marketing, you need to talk about large scale operation, you need to talk about broader market, you need to talk about intense competition, you need to higher risk and challenges are overseen, international restriction are there, as well as you may experience you may experience that international market is being dominated by the host country where you are operating. Another important concept which I have taught in BBA 6th semester is a very important topic, rather I should say, is EPRG framework. EPRG framework, ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric and geocentric framework, which was developed by Wynne Douglas and Paul Mutter. This framework addressed the way strategic decisions are being taken in international market. There is a relation between headquarter and subsidiary, and you need to talk about those decisions, how those decisions are being maintained, how you are going to take decisions. Either your decisions should be ethnocentric, or it should be polycentric, or it should be regiocentric, or it should be geocentric. If you are following ethnocentric orientation, every decision will be taken at headquarter, and subsidiary just need to follow it. If you need to talk about polycentric orientation, then the equal concentration is given on the market in which you are operating. If you are the market, say for example, I'm having a company in India and I'm operating in Nepal, so I need to talk about Nepalese market and I need to work according to the Nepalese market in case of Nepali subsidiary. Now, regiocentric, in case of concentrating upon a country, we need to concentrate on a region, and we need to develop product and services according to the need and requirement of a region. Like we need to if we are operating in India, we may talk about South Asian nation, we may talk about characteristics of South Asian nation, and depending upon the characteristics of South Asian nation, we may produce product and services. Now, another important concept is international market segmentation. Segmentation means dividing heterogeneous market into homogeneous one, and obviously there are some certain important characteristics with the help of which you are going to divide heterogeneous market into homogeneous one, and those characteristics are further divided into micro segmentation basis and macro segmentation basis. So if you are talking about macro segmentation basis, then the market could be divided on the basis of GDP, GNP, it could be divided on the basis of geographical proximity, it could be divided on the basis of economic conditions, It could be divided on the basis of cross-cultural patterns. It could be divided on the basis of level of economic integration of the countries, as well as it could be divided on the basis of product development also. In case of micro segmentation, you can divide market on the basis of lifestyle of consumer. You can divide market on the basis of micro cultural traits. You can divide on the basis of you can divide market on the basis of marketing strategy. You can divide market on the basis of attitude of customer, as well as you can take into consideration some certain local aspects. Now we need to talk about international staffing, or we need to talk about expatriates. This is one of the important topic when it comes to international business. If we are talking about international staffing approach, from where we are going to hire people, then the same approach we need to follow, EPRG approach. If you are hiring people from your home country, ethnocentric. If you are hiring people from where you are operating, polycentric. If you are hiring country from a specific region, regiocentric. And if you are choosing best employee throughout the globe, standard employee throughout the globe, you are talking about geocentric. One of the important concept in this regard is expatriates and expatriate management. Who are expatriates? The first important question. And expatriates, which are who are also known as expats, are those people who are sent to work abroad on a long-term job assignment. If I'm in India and if I'm being shifted to United States for a period of 5 to 6 years, then I'll become expatriate. Now, basis of selection of expatriate, how I'll be selected, whether I fulfill all the requirement of immigration or not, where I satisfy all the rules and regulation of international labor laws or not, whether I as well as my family are satisfied with the package which is being provided to me or not, whether my transfer to another country is logistically possible or not, whether I'm ready to go, my personal willingness. So selection of international staff or selection of expatriates always depends upon some certain criteria. Whether I'm willing, whether my family is willing, whether I'm talented, whether I fulfill all the immigration requirement or not, whether I fulfill all the international rules and regulations or not. Another important topic, international relations. International relation means relationship between different components that are related to international trade. And in this, we need to talk about the components. If we are talking about the component of industrial relations at international level, then we need to talk about government, we need to talk about global employees, we need to talk about employer association, we need to talk about employee association, we need to talk about international labor. See, things are very easy. Employee, association of employee, employer, association of employer. 4 elements. 5th element is government, 6th element is ILO, and 7th element is international trade agencies. See, if someone asks you what are or who are the components of industrial relations at international level, there are 7 components. First component, employee. Second component, employee association. Third component, employer. Fourth component, employer association. Fifth component is government. Sixth component is ILO, international level organization, labor organization. And 7th component is any kind of trade association. Now we'll be talking about foreign exchange, which is given in module number 4. Very briefly, we'll be talking about foreign exchange is the conversion of one country currency into another. In a free economy, a country currency is valued according to the law of demand and supply. In other words, a currency values can be pegged to another country's currency. such as United States dollar, or even to the basket of currency that is being offered by IMF. So what basically foreign exchange is? It is conversion of currency of one country into another country. We are talking about module number 4. Now, what are the factors that affect exchange rate system? Exchange rate system is affected by some certain factor. Political factor, psychological factor, economical factor, government policy, trade balance, balance of trade. Remember, balance of trade, trade balance, political factors, psychological factor, as well as the rules and regulations that are being propounded by, that are being framed by some certain global agencies. They are going to impact the exchange rate. There are two type of exchange rate: fixed exchange rate system, where the entire things is being decided by government; floating exchange rate system, where the entire exchange rate is determined by market; and mixed exchange rate system, where there is a mixture of fixed and floating exchange rate system. So basically, in most of the case, you are talking about intersection between demand and supply of foreign exchange, and that particular thing will be decided by the market rates. Now we'll be talking about one of the important part in module number 5, that is World Trade Organization. This is without consideration of World Trade Organization and IMF, as well as regional trade agreements. The international business subject can never be treated as complete. If we are talking about WTO, the headquarters of WTO is located in Geneva. It was founded in 1st January 1985. Official language of WTO is English, French, and Spanish, and currently more than 165 members are there with WTO. WTO was formulated in 1995. It started working from 1st January 1995 after the fall of GATT. The features of WTO. WTO has replaced GATT. WTO is an agency that formulates rules and regulation of international trade. WTO has a foolproof system of grievance redressal mechanism. WTO has formulated rules and regulation with respect to trade in services. WTO has trade policy review body. WTO has dispute settlement body. WTO has a different kind of negotiation committee. WTO has Council for TRIPS, trade related intellectual property right. WTO has Council for TRIMS, trade related investment measure. WTO is having agencies to formulate rules and regulation with respect to trade in goods as well as trade in services. Some of the important functions of WTO. WTO used to carry out trade negotiation. WTO used to carry out implementation and monitoring of trade-related rules. WTO helps in dispute settlement. WTO helps weaker country to build trade capacity, as well as WTO talks about outreach program. One of the important topic is international business and economic integration. Economic integration means the integration of economies of the world. It could be treated as a collaboration between two or more than two countries, thereby limiting the trade barrier. Two or more than two countries of the world came together to collaborate. They used to eradicate the trade barrier, that means tariff and non-tariff barrier I am talking about. And finally, they used to create a common platform where they can come together and where they can talk about global trade. So there are 5 levels of economic integration depending upon interplay between complexity and level of economic integration. The lower level, first level free trade area, second level custom union, third level common market, fourth level economic union, and fifth level is political union. First level is free trade area, where there is no trade barrier between trading country, but every trading country or every member country is free to decide their terms and conditions with non-member countries. Now second level is custom union. In case of custom union, there is no trade barrier between trading country. However, the member country will be having similar kind of rules, similar kind of pattern between themselves and non-member country. In case of common market, the services, capital, they are freely movable from one country factor. So production, they are freely movable from one country to another country except land. In case of economic union, trading countries or member country may have a similar kind of economic policy, and in case of political union, they may have a similar kind of government like we have experienced in European nation. Economic integration is very much important for peace and security. Economic integration is very much important for development of trade of the world. Economic integration is very much important in regulating the working condition of the world. Economic integration is very much important in increasing the ties between member countries and non-member countries. Now, another and last important concept is regional trade agreements. We are only touching the topics. Regional trading agreements. Regional trading agreement refer to a treaty that is signed between two or more than two countries to encourage free movement of goods and services across borders of member country. The agreement comes with internal rule that member country will follow. That means there is an agreement between two or more than two country. Two or more than two country came together. They used to sign an agreement. They used to sign a proper agreement, and with the help of that agreement, they used to remove quota. They used to remove tariff and non-tariff barrier. Now, there are some important objective of regional trading agreement: to boost economic growth, to increase market, to increase profit, to improve variety of goods and services, to utilize resources, to improve relation, to increase collaborations. Again, what are the benefits? To boost economic growth, to increase employment, to increase collaboration, to improve quality of goods and services, to create more jobs, etc. Some of the important example of regional trade agreement are NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Area. North American Free Trade Area was it actually came into effect in 1994. North American Free Trade Area is an agreement between Mexico, Canada, and United States. Another example is SAFTA, South Asian Free Trade Area. South Asian Free Trade Area came into existence in 2006. SAFTA consists of 7 nations: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. When you are talking about SAFTA, then SAARC Preferential Trade Agreement, which was signed in 1993, was overthrown by SAFTA. Under SAFTA, countries are divided into two parts: developing country and least developing country, basically to improve trade. Another example of regional trade agreement is ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nation. It was formed in 1967, and it is a treaty between Southeast Asian nation. Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Singapore were the first signatory, and now I'm again repeating the name of members: Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, PTR, Myanmar, and Cambodia, as well as there are 2 observer states: Papua New Guinea and East Timor. These are 2 observer states. European Union is another burning example of a regional trade agreement. Whenever you are talking about history of European Union, it all started in 1950 with Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. And currently there are 27 member countries of European Union. European Union represents the highest level of economic integration, that is political union. Some of the important objectives of European Union are to promote peace and well-being of European Union citizen, to offer European Union citizen freedom, security, justice without border biasness, to work towards sustainable development of Europe, to establish economic union with Euro as its currency, to establish a central governance system, and to promote peace and security on this earth. Another important example of regional trade agreement is BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. one of the important, I should say the most important collaboration of the most important collaboration in today's world. BRICS, the first, the first meeting of BRICS was conducted in Russia in 2009, I suppose. And the objective of BRICS is exactly the same: development of member nation, development of job, to create balance of power in the world, to create peace, to create justice, to create a common platform, to promote sustainable development, to promote peace and security, and to strengthen the ties, and to oppose the increasing impact of European nation and United States. See friends, this is my third video actually, and in this video we have talked about international business, and in coming days to come I'll be uploading more videos where you'll be getting information about international business. Remember, I'm Dr. Ashok Asthana, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Management, Sarala Birla University. I hope you'll enjoy this business. In case of any problem, you can contact directly to me. You can also post question, and I'll definitely answer. My mail ID is ashok, ashok dot asthana, asthana@sbu.ac.in, and my mobile number is 81029679336. Hope you'll be enjoying this video, and this video will make your understanding a bit clearer. Thank you and have a nice day. Good day.